What's up guys, this is Jaden from Team Major J. Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be showcasing our Platinum Dark Magician deck. Yeah, you heard that right, early season Platinum Dark Magician. That should make the boomers pretty happy. Alright, let's get at it. Alright, let's get into duel number 1. Now we do not have the greatest hand, especially seeing we're going first. We're gonna just go with Dark Magical Circle here. We found a Dark Magician. We're gonna set 2 and pass. At this point, we're just hoping our opponent doesn't have a great hand either. And our delight, he sets 1 and pass. We're gonna activate Soul Servant, which was met with a maxi for some strange reason. I don't know, I guess maybe he didn't read Soul Servant. But yeah, that's just a wasted card on his part. We're gonna put Magician Soul to the top of our deck, which guarantee we draw into it, of course. We're gonna activate the effect of Magician Soul at this point. We're gonna dump the Dark Magician in order to special summon the Dark Magician. Now we're gonna activate Dark Magical Circle, remove his monster from play, activate the ability of Soul Servant, which allows us to draw a card. We're just pretty much looking for more utility at this point, maybe some trap cards. Of course, Magician Salvation allows us to set Eternal Soul, which is great because that means our combo is pretty much finished at this point. I'll explain later. So we set the Eternal Soul, set Soul Servant Theta, attack directly, and now we're going to go into a Link Spider. I know for some new players they might be wondering, why would I go into Link Spider? It has no ability at this moment. Truthfully, it's because of the Soul Servant. We want the Dark Magician in the graveyard, and of course we do have one in our hand that we could summon, but at this point our opponent still has 4 cards. We're not sure why he just set 1 and pass. It could be that, you know, we might get hit with a lightning storm, and that way I would just rather try to keep as much cards as possible in my hand at this moment, in case we like draw into an Illusionist Magician or something like that. So we're gonna pass back to our opponent, see what he does this time, and he starts off with a Foolish Burial. I'm assuming that's the card he top decked. He goes into John Synchron, and this is where you see the power of Ice Dragon Prison. It's such a strong card. Not only do you special summon the card from your opponent where you can use for link material or whatever, but when your opponent uses a team deck, like machines in this case, you could just destroy them. He's completely out of place off of 1 trap. We're gonna activate Eternal Soul at the end phase. Don't forget to use it in end phase because that guarantees that you can use another Dark Magician. You can summon another Dark Magician that same turn. And at this point, I think we pretty much have the game. We are going to use the Eternal Soul. We were just, you know, being cautious in case he beats us with some kind of crazy card. We're going to use Magician Rod. We're going to get Secrets of the Dark Magic because it's a quick play card, and in case our opponent finds some way to stop our attack, we'll have more plays. We'll just attack for game. And that's pretty much it. This was a pretty straightforward fast duel. I just wanted to show you guys the combination of Eternal Soul, Link Spider, and of course, Dark Magical Circle. Alright, let's get into game number 2. We're going to be going second, which isn't great. We're a control heavy deck, so we actually rather go first. He's going to start with Tribrigade Fractal. I hate that card. It's quite strong. So we're going to meet him with a maxi, hoping he just won't go off. But he decides, screw it, I'm going to make my plays. So he discharges, which adds a card to his hand. He gets another Fractal, which is totally fine. He's going to summon it, which helps him get into his link. The link is of course going to summon him off from his hand, and then he's going to go into Trident, I believe, at this point. Yeah, he goes into Zodiac Trident, which I expected more. He's going to just set 1 and pass, which is fine. This is totally fine. So we're going to draw. We're going to start off with Dogmatica. Truthfully, at this point, we're just baiting, and he actually takes the bait. He immediately tries to get rid of her, which I'm not totally sure. We're going to meet him with a Call by the Grave because we really want to get rid of the Fractals. We know how dangerous it can be. And he's actually going to Solemn Judgment the Call by the Grave, which truthfully, I think that was overkill. I wouldn't have done that. I still have 6 cards in my hand. Really, the Call by the Grave wouldn't have really done anything in this case. I just was trying to get rid of the Fractal, but hey, he bit on that bait, and we're gonna just take it. So this is gonna resolve, and we also know we have Ice Dragon Prison. We have ways to get rid of his other cards. Now we're gonna draw another card. We activate Dark Magical Circle. Unfortunately, we didn't get anything, but we do add a Magician Soul on the top of our deck. That's important to remember when you see the plays. Now, he's going to actually activate Twin Twister, which really sucked for us. But luckily, he targeted one of the cards we're going to target anyway. He did not respect Dark Magical Circle. Now, guys, I'm going to tell you. Try to get rid of Dark Magical Circle if you play a Dark Magician deck. This card is so important to the Dark Magician player. And the second card he of course targeted was a Solemn Strike. So we're gonna chain the Dogmatica Punishment into the Ice Dragon Prison before the skill drain, and we're gonna do it this way because we don't really know what he has in his hand, and we just really want to protect the skill drain because skill drain pretty much just wins us this duel. So we're gonna choose the Fractal. We still found a way to get rid of it, which is perfect because now we're killing two birds with one stone. We're gonna be removing both of his Fractal with one card. So here comes the resolve. We're gonna special summon it with Ice Dragon Prison, get rid of it. Of course, we're gonna throw Elder with the punishment, try to destroy his card, and we're going to be met with a Skull Master, which is totally fine. His hand is now empty, we know all his plays, we have our skill drain on the field, and at this point, he's pretty much at our mercy, so he'll attack directly and have to pass his turn. Now we know we're going to draw into Soul Servant because we chose that with Dark Magical Circle to be on the top of our deck. We're going to use Soul Servant ability, toss the Dark Magician in order to summon a Dark Magician, removing his monster from play, of course, with the Dark Magical Circle, and attack directly. I know a lot of you might be wondering why didn't I activate Secrets of Dark Magic in order to get my fusion monster. Well, be very aware if you do decide to play this deck list, what I'm playing, the control heavy variant, that if you activate Dark Magicka Punishment, it's not just a turn. You can't summon mobs from your special, you can't special summon any mobs from your extra deck until the end of your turn. So just keep that in mind. But we are going to set it face down. It is a quick play spell in case he draws into something crazy, you know. But he doesn't. He sets one face down. We're going to draw. Of course, we know what our second draw is. Once again, called the Dark Magical Circle, which is Apprentice Magician. We're going to activate her ability, of course, but it's negated because our skill drain. Dark Magician attack. He gets Kit. It doesn't really matter. We're going to just attack for game right here. And of course, we still had our Secrets of Dark Magic in case we actually needed to counteract some type of play. Alright guys, we're gonna get into the third and final duel. I don't want the video to become too long, so we'll show you 3 duels this time, and maybe next time we'll show some more. We're gonna play Dark Magical Circle. Unfortunately, we didn't get anything. We're gonna set Skill Drain, and of course Solemn Strike, which makes us feel pretty safe. That's 2 really good cards. We're gonna actually immediately activate the Skill Drain. Luckily, no hand traps. That's really good for us. We're going to also use the Maxi just in case. Unfortunately, we're not actually going to benefit much from it. We were hoping he was going to do more, but I guess he decided to play it safe. So he's going to dump the Glow Up, add some cards to his hand, and he's going to pass it back to us. Now we're going to draw. Of course, we know we draw into Magician Souls. That's what we put on the top of our deck with Dark Magical Circle. We're going to dump the Dark Magician to special summon the Dark Magician. And at this point, we're going to actually... We're trying to decide, should we get rid of the mob or should we get rid of the back row? The thing is, we don't have another way to summon our Dark Magician. And once again, we drew into Dark Magician Girl, which is actually a brick. The reason why she's in the deck is pretty much just for Soul Servants. I love drawing 2 cards. But truthfully, guys, she actually bricked a lot. So I'm considering taking her out. If you guys do decide to play this list, I'll show you the list later. Feel free to take her out if it's not working for you, because it does feel bad when you draw her. But yeah, so we have no way to resummon our Dark Magician, so we are going to go for the back row just to be safe. Unfortunately for us, it was Rivalry of Warlords, which, yeah, we can actually play through that with no problem. But yeah, whatever. We're gonna attack his mob. Of course, that mob does have a pretty scary graveyard ability, summoning a zombie from his hand. But hey, we made our choice. We're gonna have to live with it. Now, luckily for us, the skill drain seems to be putting it work because he set a card face down and he passed it back to us. We drew Ice Dragon Prison, which is such a beautiful, sweet card against a zombie player. You know, most of their mobs come back from the grave and they activate their abilities from the grave. So we feel pretty secure now with Ice Dragon Prison. So he's going to remove his mob, which brings that back. We're going to let this go. We don't want to use it too quickly because we know the card he has in his hand. We know how powerful it is. So we don't want to be stuck against a big board and no way to respond to it. So there it is. He's going to summon the Doom King. And now we're going to activate the Ice Dragon Prison. Summoning his mob, removing them. Now, I don't know why he's activating these abilities. They're obviously negated because of the skill drain. He's going to pass back to us. We're going to draw into our Magician's Soul. And at this point, he scoops. He's at our mercy. We still also have the Solemn Strike face down. We were going to go into another Dark Magician here, removing his monster. We pretty much already had game. He had no way to deal with the Dark Magical Circle. Alright, let me show you guys the deck list. So this is the deck list we use to get into Platinum. Triple Dark Magician, Triple Magician Soul, Triple Maxi, Triple Rod. Rod is such a good card. I'm surprised it's actually just rare. I'm happy it's rare because truthfully this is a very, very expensive deck list. I actually had to grind for a long time before I could put this together. I'm not really sure what you guys can change in this deck list. I'm sorry I can't make it cheaper. You can maybe cut one of the strikes, maybe the Call by the Grave, but the deck list is pretty expensive. We're just using one Dogmatica. You know, she used to get the trap card, of course. This one, the punishment. Dark Magician Girl, like I mentioned in the last duel, she can actually be a huge brick at times, but if you do manage to get her in the grave with, let's say, an Apprentice Illusion Magician, and you activate Soul Servant, drawing 2 cards could be so clutch, and it's so powerful. So that's why we keep her. Unfortunately, I did brick a lot with the card, so like I said earlier, feel free to cut her. If you do cut her, I'm not sure what you would want to put in that case. There's a lot of options what you can use, but it's your own choice. Then, of course, 3 Apprentice. We do run the 1 Raigeki. Seeing that we're a control heavy deck, we tend to always have a magical trap card face down, especially if we go first, so we don't want to use Lightning Storm and then just get stuck with a dead card in our hand. So we just go for the Raigeki. Magicalized Fusion can actually be so impactful when you have 5 different spellcasters. You can destroy all mobs when you summon this mob. And if not, he's also a very big body. Let's say skill drains out there. You have a 4500 monster, but also, of course, with punishment, sometimes your opponent has ridiculously powerful mobs and you just need to get rid of it. And throwing him to the grave just really helps. 4500 is pretty much, it could take down pretty much anything. Yeah, so we're going to go to Magician Salvation. This is also a card you can consider cutting or not, but I actually do really like the card. Not only setting the Eternal Soul, the second ability can actually come in hand if you do happen to play the Dark Magician Girl. Just remember, if you do cut Dark Magician Girl, I would cut Magician Salvation. Triple Dark Magical Circle, 1 Call by the Grave, Triple Soul Servant, Secrets of Dark Magic. Just the 1 Navigation. I know some people play 2. I think it's too situational. It feels bad if you have it and you don't have the Dark Magician. Dogmatica Punishment, I just play 2. There's a very control heavy variant of this deck. However, I found myself drawing into too many traps with absolutely no starter. So you can go into triple punishment and also triple Ice Dragon Prison, but and then you know you play it with like Ghost and Match and stuff like that. But I think it's too much. Also, triple skill drain. It's completely debatable, but this is the list I use to get into Platinum, and I've been doing really well in Platinum with it. Triple strike, just 2 skill drain, and then 2 Eternal Soul. Now, of course, we have the Elder. Truthfully, I would like to play 2 of her, and then I'd probably cut 1 of the Ebon. However, like I said, the deck is pretty expensive, so at the moment I just have 1, so I'm just running 1. Of course, the Dark Magicians, also another card that you could run 2 of instead of 1. Quintet Magician, I explained earlier why. Of course, Naruto, he's very, very powerful if you have like 2 level 6s, which of course, Illusion Magician, Dark Magician, they can actually be pretty good, you know. It's a negate, and negating's really good. Big Eye, yeah, of course, putting 2 Dark Magicians together. Then Ebon is very, very good. If you get your opponent low enough and you're not actually playing skill drain, the Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon, his ability to keep burning your opponent could come in really clutch. Zeus, because let's be real, Zeus is Zeus. And then we have the Link Spider, as you saw in the first duel, which combines very good with the Dark Magician to get him in the graveyard. And of course, it helps you link climb into, you know, the standard Nightmare Phoenix or IP Masquerena, Nightmare Unicorn, and of course, Access Code Talker. This pretty much speaks for itself. If you watch anything Yu-Gi-Oh, you'll pretty know how this works. Alright guys, this was the deck list. If you guys are interested in seeing some of my Platinum duels that are so amazing, I remember I had a game against one of the Galaxy players, and wow, that was like one of my favorite duels I had with the deck so far. Consider subscribing. I'm going to be releasing a lot of content. We make content for a lot of different games. We focused a lot on Final Fantasy, but right now our main focus will be Yu-Gi-Oh! For the upcoming and the foreseeable future, because I'm really enjoying the game. From a boomer to modern Yu-Gi-Oh! It's been an amazing change, an amazing journey, an amazing ride. So consider subscribing, give the video a like if you liked it, and I'll see you in the next one.